Okay, alternative universe Justice League that I have assembled. I have gathered you all here today to show you the ways of cooking spaghetti. Oh, and don't forget the canned tomatoes. They could save your life, just like they saved my mom's. Wait, you seriously summoned us here to do cooking and do your shopping?
Besides, I already know the ways of spaghetti because I'm Batman.
The Flash, directed by Andy Muschietti and is the 14th installment of the DCU overall, as well as the second DCU movie of 2023 after Shazam Fury of the Gods. And The Flash tells the story taking place after the events of Justice League, where Barry Allen, played once again by Ezra Miller, one day discovers that if he can run fast enough, he can save his mother's life and prove his father's innocence. But in doing so, makes a alternative universe where Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Cyborg don't exist, and Zod is returning to make Earth into New Krypton like he did in Man of Steel. So Barry and his past self need to recruit a Justice League of their own made up of Michael Keaton's Batman and Supergirl, Superman's cousin, to protect the planet from Zod. Can Barry truly bring himself to accept that he can't undo the past? Now, we were initially supposed to get a Flash movie like 5 freaking years ago. Like, we could have gotten this movie in 2018. But of course, this movie has production mayhem behind it, and is as a result one of the most delays and troubled productions in the DCU period. And filming it didn't even start until 2021. And to make matters worse for this movie, its leader star that's supposed to carry the movie, Ezra Miller, has been a bad boy, so that turned some fans away from the project before they even saw the movie. Even though I was still, crazy hyped for this movie, as we're finally getting a solo Flash movie. I mean, I don't care if its lead star, is Ezra Miller. I just want to see it. The early test screening reactions and the trailers, certainly peaked the hype back up again. With James Gunn even stating it was one of the greatest superhero movies of all time, even though some are convinced that DC and Warner Brothers just paid James Gunn to say that, as they wanted this movie to be one of DC's, uh, hugest hits. And while it's being better received critically and financially than Shazam Fury of the Gods was, it's still not exactly the smash hits that DC and Warner Brothers were hoping for, with it underperforming below their expectations, most likely due to the Ezra Miller controversy. And after Aquaman 5 years ago, the box office for DC has generally declined. But as for me, I totally get it if this is the most divisive DCU movie. The Marmite of DC, you're either going to love it or hate it. If but if you're a hater of the Flash and call this a cinematic disaster and failure, then I completely and utterly disagree. I had a ball with the Flash. This is a fabulous superhero movie, and one of the greatest multiverse stories ever told on film. Yeah, better than Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness combined. But don't get me wrong, no way does this top Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse. Across is still the greatest of the multiverse movies, but The Flasher was still a grand attempt at one and a ambitious one. I mean, uh, and I uh, and I was a fan of the Flash TV series beforehand, but I may like the movie even more. This is a personal multiverse story with that is packed full of hearts and knows exactly what it needs to be. It keeps the focus all on Barry and the heartbreaking storyline that he is not able to undo, well, the tragedy of what happened to his mother, no matter how many times he goes back to the past to fix things. But this movie's message is a well mature one and real life one. That's sometimes, well, things that we go through in life do well make us stronger people. And without that, we would have grown into an entirely different person to what we are now. So this movie does the don't mess with a time storyline rather flawlessly. Yeah, no, I did certainly shed a tear by the third act, and I adored the character of Norma, Barry's mother. She's one of the greatest DC and superhero mothers, just like Hippolyta from Wonder Woman. Barry inherited his pure hearts from her. You can see, and this movie teaches you to not forget to can tomatoes when cooking spaghetti because it may just save your life in the future. As for the elephant in the room, Ezra Miller, he is excellent here as Barry Allen. Just forget about the crimes he's done in real life and enjoy his performance. Ezra does well such a uh, terrific job at playing both Barry Allens in for multiple scenes. He had to act with himself. I mean, now that is an achievement in and of itself. And I love how here the present day Barry teaches the past a younger Barry. Well, you know, uh, all about his powers and what he should be grateful for. And Ezra was well the quintessential actor to play the Flash. Let's face it, his lines and jokes are rapidly quippy and just the right pace. The comedy here truly excels. One of the DCU's funniest outings, and of course, the show stealers are the members of the brand Justice League 2.0, Michael Keaton's Batman and Supergirl. I mean, uh, yeah, and but not only do we see Michael Keaton, we see three Batmans in this movie alone. Also Ben Affleck in the first act and George Clooney at the very end. The fan service here is going to get the DC fans well fan all over it. But it's also done for story purposes, and there was just enough of it, never too much, never too little. Michael Keaton, he has still got it as Batman, even though his Bruce Wayne now does have grey hair because he's clearly aged since the Tim Burton days. But when he put on that suit again, he is still able to kick complete ass now. And his Bruce Wayne is well an expert at making spaghetti bolognese. Yeah, this movie will make you want spaghetti bolognese again. And even better than Michael Keaton's Batman is a newcomer Sasha Cale as Superman's badass cousin Supergirl. And I kind of wanted Melissa Benoist to be Supergirl in the DCU initially. Some of you may know how obsessed I am with that show, but Sasha Cale, well, is now the definitive movie Supergirl, and she, casting wise, she looks so much like Cavill's cousin with her darker hair. And you can see how passionate she was about uh, uh, playing Supergirl. I'm overjoyed that James Gunn is bringing her into his DCU for her solo movie. Hopefully, that will be as awesome as Wonder Woman was. And as for Michael Shannon as Zoz, I mean, uh, he is serviceable here. I mean, he's way stronger in Man of Steel, but that's to be expected because he's not supposed to be the biggest part of the movie. But seeing him again, did give me chills and was a worthy 10th anniversary tribute to Man of Steel, just to see his message again and his ships again. And but the real antagonist of this movie turned out to be Dark Flash, who was barely marketed in the trailers wisely, but he's the Barry that's if Barry kept messing with the past too many times, then that's what Barry would become. And uh, the uh, action scenes, well, are also fantastic from the uh, opening, well, chase slash rescue when Barry is asking for a sandwich in the restaurant, and he does a quicker silver from the rebooted X-Men trilogy style action moment where he rescues several babies, and including a mother and a dog from a collapsing hospital. And we get a cameo from Diana herself, Wonder Woman. Fuck yes. I mean, that was the moment that made me cheer the hardest. First, we got her in Shazam 2, and now The Flash. I mean, could she cameo in Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2? This movie really felt like just a sequel to Justice League. It's if it had, well, the Flash and Batman and Wonder Woman and a different version of Superman. Like, okay, we may never get a sequel to the Snyderverse Justice League, but this is the closest we'll get to it, so I'll take it. And the also the middle of the movie does take a short break from the action. It's about the two Barrys getting to know one another and making sure present day Barry gets younger Barry to where he needs to be to get his powers, and then present day Barry loses his powers in the lightning strike, which added to the stakes. And one of the best action scenes is the uh, Russian prison break where the Barrys and Batman rescue Supergirl from the Russian jail. When Kara literally saved all their asses in a heartbeat, and she certainly got to give a Zod a good ass whipping in the final battle with the Kryptonians. For those who have criticized the CGI as being, some of the worst CGI they've ever seen in a superhero blockbuster. Isn't that going way too far? Come on, I don't get the hate for the CGI. I'm sorry, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 had far worse visual effects than this, and and you can't deny the final action scene of them trying to protect the world from the Kryptonians is super epic. Whether Supergirl taking on Zod, Batman taking on Kryptonians even without any powers, and how could anybody not be like, oh my god, this is amazing? But yeah, I understand that Frozen 2 fan is pissed that they killed off Supergirl in this movie, and yeah, I honestly did not see that coming either. It is a bummer that they brought her in for just one movie, only gave her 30 minutes of screen time, and then just had Zod kill her. But I guess that was to show that no matter what they did, they were not able to save Supergirl and Batman from dying in this universe. Because, spoiler alert, Batman also dies. I mean, probably the only time we've seen the Cape Crusader actually have a death scene. Yeah, they go that far. And so, uh, yeah, that's what prompts Barry to, do the right thing. Oh, and the pacing of this movie goes by in a flash, no pun intended, and it as so you will also want to stay for the credits because you'll not only get an extension of the falling dog in slow motion, but a post-credit scene where uh, Barry meets Arthur, aka Aquaman, in the street, which is clearly to get us all ready for Aquaman 2. And Barry's friends weren't exactly crucial to the plot in the normal universe, but in the alternative universe, they were way more of a help for the one scene they were in. Oh, and Barry's girlfriend, yeah, she was extremely helpful in Barry's motivation to realize what he needed to do to save his mother. Uh, Overall, though this movie did not have it easy, far from it, it did so well to finally come out against all odds and did nothing but blow me away. I give The Flash 5 stars out of 5. Best multiverse movie ever. So yeah, we now just have two DC movies left of the non-James Gunn DC universe. So I mean, who is ready for Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2: The Lost Kingdom? Please give us a teaser trailer for Aquaman 2 in at least August, DC, for crying out loud. Well, I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. What are your thoughts on The Flash? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I review Transformers Rise of the Beast as well as the Cinderella sequels. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.